Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. How's it going, everyone? forgot to post the live notification. Let me do that real quick. Well, welcome to episode 250. Crazy. All right, let's get this thing on the road. All right. How's everyone doing today? One second here. Forgot to turn off this big loud fan. That should be better. All right. Oh yeah, yesterday we hacked in a very BS solution to a problem we were having. I kind of don't want to leave it like this. We limited the shrink to just a single step, but I kind of want like a better general solution to this. Honestly, it should be like a resize. Hey, how's it going, Rikia? Yeah, I think I want to like try to make this safe. This is like the shrinkage amount. I just call it size, but that's maybe the wrong thing. Maybe we should call it amount. Instead, what we can do is we can say I want to say size.x is greater than. It's got to be greater than amount.x times 2, something like that. And so what should we do if should we just shrink as much as possible? So if size.x is greater than amount.x times 2, then what we can do is we can, should it be something else? Should it be just like, essentially we want to approach the center. The only problem with this is that the center is a floating point because it could be something 0.5. It could be halfway. Like if you have a 2x2 box, the halfway point is like, well, that's not a good example. No, that is a good example. Because like if the minimum is 0 and the maximum is 1, then the center is 0.5. But that's not valid for this purpose. So maybe the result of trying to shrink a box that is less than size 2, it just remains, or that is size 2 or less, it just remains size 2 or less. Maybe we don't need to do much else. Maybe we can just say, maybe we don't even need this comparison. Maybe we need something, maybe we can do something more general. Like we can do a min or a max or something like that. What if minimum is a negative number? Does this break? Because when I wrote this, minimum was never less than 0, but now minimum can be less than 0. No, that should be fine. So can, instead of something like this, could we just do something like we'd want to take the smallest number. So we'd take the minimum. So we'd want to take like the floor of the center. So we'd say something like, can I avoid doing this component wise? Can I just say vector 3i dot min, and I can pass in center. Well, it would need to be floored. We could do math f dot floor here. Convert it to an int. Well, that'll only work on a well, maybe what we do here is we say like this. Vector 3i. The retro engine. Hey, how's it going? Howdy, you've been a lurker for a while. Oh, I appreciate that. How are you doing? Welcome to episode 250 of Digital Iliad. How are you doing? Happy Thursday. Sorry for the delay. YouTube has a bit of a delay. It's annoying because I'm dealing with a vector 3 here. Should I just use Godot's Florida int or whatever? We'll say, let's say center I. This is a really stupid way to do this. It's the sort of thing that makes me want to make my own vector. Hey, Skywalk, what's up? It's all Greek to you. You used to program an assembler on a C64, though, but this looks cool. All good. Don't want to interrupt my train of thought. Oh, no, please do. It's not a train. Or if it is, it makes many stops. What you're describing sounds like real programming. What's the problem here, buddy? Does this require a... Is this just how we're going to do this? Oh, we actually want, like, center min. So we want a version that's sealed and a version that's floored. Yeah, we're doing some weird stuff with our bounding box here. You're not doing much, Skywalk. You're multitasking, working, watching Twitch. Nice. That's the way. That's the way. I mentioned on the Discord, but the stream I really like watching in the morning while I'm working is this woodworking stream. It's like a lo-fi woodworking stream from Wormwood Gaming. It's really good. It's super chill, super cool to watch all these all this stuff coming together. It's mostly like gaming tables, I think. But it's very cool. All right, so we have our center min. We need a center max. Am I insane for being the person that likes doing this? All right, so we're basically defining a version of the center that's floored down and floored up. I guess I could make that be a thing that we could just summon when we need it. Like public vector 3i center max. And have that be like a thing here. Could I do it like this? Instead of having to do it down here. Because I could see myself wanting to use these elsewhere. So what do we just make a vector 3 and then cast it down to a vector 3i? Is that good enough? Yeah, that seems fine. But this is the min, not the max. Maybe I should call it like floor and seal or something like that. Center floor. Center seal. Yeah, why not? That's better, I think. And we don't have to do that here. We don't have to invoke it here. So here we just need to return a new bounding box. It needs to be shrunken. So the minimum needs to be either brought up, needs to be either shrunken by the amount or brought to the center floor. This is how I'm going to prevent the thing that was happening yesterday, where we would shrink a bounding box by greater than its size, so it would invert itself. Which it would be kind of cool. Well, I think the correct behavior is you shrink it down to a point, if possible, or a 2x2, if it's even. So I think if it's even, it makes sense to shrink it down to a 2x2 and not try to shrink it down to a single point. You should only really try to shrink it down to a single point, I think, if it's odd. And I think for our purposes, it's okay. But it is, I wanted it to be kind of useful. So now what we'd say vector 3i dot min. Well, we'd say max. No, we'd say min. And it's a minimum between minimum plus amount and center floor. Center ceiling and the center floor could very often be the same number, right? Actually, would they be different? They actually aren't necessarily. So I actually need to do a check here. I need to actually say size divided by 2 size.x divided by 2. If size.x divided by 2 is 0, then we would want center floor. Otherwise, we would just want vector 3i center. I was just reading what ceiling does, and I thought maybe we might end up with different numbers, but maybe we don't. Returns the smallest integral value that is greater than or equal to the specified single precision floating point number. Oh, great. Why did they say greater than? Oh, because they're talking about the big number. Like 1.1 becomes 2. When would it ever be equal? I guess if you seal 2.0, it just becomes 2. Okay, no, yeah, we don't actually need to do that check then. That was silly of me. We can just always use the center floor. Wow, look at you. Autocomplete. Actually realized what I was trying to do. Can this become an expression body? Well, for one thing, we can use targeted type. And for another, we could turn this into an expression body. Maybe get it on one line. Not really, but kinda. good enough. All right, that's what we're going to use as our shrink function, I think. Just got to change these back. Vector3.xy. Hold on. Maximum minus amount, center ceiling. Yeah, I think this will work. I was unhappy where we left off yesterday, but I was very much out of time. So we kind of just let it resolve. Now we're fixing it today. And I don't know, will it work? I feel like there's another function that uses shrink that is going to fail here. Audio server. I guess that's fine for right now. I'm not doing anything with audio. I mean, that's working, but it's not really a test. This is a test of the outdoor warning system. Okay, so that part isn't working. Oh, things are being a little weird with the edge. Why are you being like that? Something that's happening at the upper end is causing a problem. Whoa, that like instantly resets everything, or is it just... Hold on. It might actually just be the cutaway. No, it's not. Whoa. Let me test with this one where I can actually see what's happening. Oh, okay, no. Our shrink function is causing all sorts of weird things to happen. That's okay. We can figure that out. It's clearly going to the edges. The wall part seems to be right. I don't understand this thing that's happening on the inside. On the lower end. But clearly we got this wrong. That's okay. Something weird is happening. All right. Erase blocks within bounds. Bounds.shrink. Vector3i.xy. Place blocks within bounds. Bounds.shrink. And then when we merge blocks along margins, what do? We do a get non-overlapping shrink. So we get non-overlapping with a shrunken version of this. I don't know. Right now, all the bounds are limited to positive numbers. For right now, there's an issue with the cutaway system. So I've been getting around it by just not having negative numbers there. All right, I probably flipped something here. So when we're doing this, we have our minimum number, which at the moment can be 0 or greater. We add whatever this amount is. And then we pick the smaller number between this and the floor. It's probably our calculation of the center floor that's wrong. This is one of those I would really like a round to integer function sort of deal. What do I have in here? My concern is this still returns a float, but it should be fine. Oh, this number does change. Right now we can only shrink, like, generally from all sides an equal amount, which I think is fine. So we do this, take our minimum, we add the amount that we're shrinking by. We compare that to the center floor, and we pick the smaller number. And then here, take our max, we subtract the amount. And then we take the bigger number between that and the center ceiling. Something weird is happening in the system here. All right, let's take another look at this here. Yeah, that's interesting. So the first thing that happens... Oh! Okay. So there's something weird happening, particularly with the erasure one. Why here? Yeah, I'm doing something super weird. It's fine. So the bounds that is being used for this part, the replace part, nanners. Nice grid outline. Thanks. Yeah, I like it. It's actually like, it's just semi-transparent tiles overlapping with each other. It looks nice. What's happening here is I think when we're doing this replace, well, both of these are using the wrong, are getting the wrong thing. So, I mean, obviously the culprit is the shrink because both functions use the shrink. Like if I just took this out. That weird deck issue would go away almost certainly. Yeah. And all that we're left with is this detail where up until this point, we don't cross over. So yeah, I'm misusing, something's happening with the center, that calculation of the center of the bounding box that I'm not accounting for. I just want to see what the difference is here. I have a 2-string function for these, right? Hey, Nix. You can get a notif. Yeah, it's like there's no way to guarantee a notification. It's kind of crazy. Flibbert Gibbet at arms. That's quite a name. 250? Hell yeah. Yeah, episode 250. Let's go. Skywalk editor is becoming so advanced, NASA's going to reach out to you for its February moon landing. They need the tech. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it'll be ready by then, but we'll do our best. Thanks for the hydrate, Nix. Flibbert to Gibbet at arms. Maybe it's Gibbet. Flibberty Gibbet. I'll just say Flibberty Gibbet. Unless educated otherwise. Okay, so yeah, there's this weird thing. So yeah, we're working on Digital Iliad. It's like an FTL-like. It's got an isometric 2D aesthetic to it. We're fixing an issue right now. I tried to edit a block tool. It used to be you would just lay out whole solid blocks, but now when you do that, I want it to lay out hollowed rooms so that we're never placing down these giant blocks of solid objects. We're placing hollowed, sealed compartments when we're doing that, but I'm having a little struggle with it. So when we take 540-1720 and we shrink it by 1, it becomes 730. So why does the X increase and the Y decreases? 1821. I would expect one number to wholly increase and one number to wholly decrease. Okay. Like in rabbit? No worries. Thanks for coming in and saying hi. Liberty Gibbet. Thanks for coming in. And yeah, 250, huh? Becomes an error, bad matrix calc. We're not even doing matrices. I don't understand what's happening. It's fine. We're punching in a minimum and a maximum. I wonder if the center's being weird. Yeah, that's super weird what we just observed. Prior bounds dot toString, prior bounds dot shrink, vector 3i dot xy. That's just 110. So yeah, the result of the shrink is strange. One 2 0, 11 12 0 became 9 9 0, 12 13 0. So the second number should be getting smaller. The first number should be getting bigger. That's what should be happening. Clearly flipped something around somewhere. What's really confusing... So, like, the second one is kind of what I expected. Here, let me try it again. So 560, 1722, 0. So the minimum is 560, the maximum is 1722, 0. When you shrink that by 1, you get 750. So 7 makes sense. Although it should really just come in by 1. Minimum should come in by 1. So it should be... By come in, I mean increase. So 560 should have become 670. And then 1722, 0 should have decreased by 1 and become 1621, 0. But instead it became 1823, 0. So yeah, I'm just all over the place here. How is that possible? Where's the shrink function? Here it is. You pass in this amount, make a new vector 3i. We take the minimum. My minimum and maximum functions are fine.
Most illogical.
Yeah, I don't know, Nix. We'll figure it out. So we take in our minimum. We should add our amount. Is this what's happening? Is it this? I mean, it shouldn't be the plus operator. The plus operator is just component-wise, and it's just fine. It shouldn't be the min either, because the min is... also component-wise. It selects each... Oh, it selects each individual component. Which, yeah, that's right. So, I'm not worried about the fundamental operators here. What I'm doing here is something... It's got to have to do with this floor here, right? So the minimum should be increasing by the amount. The maximum should be decreasing by the amount. The opposite appears to be happening. So I'm tempted to say the center floor and the center ceiling are wrong. Let's verify that. Let's just keep adding on to this. Let's say prior bounds dot center floor, prior bounds dot center ceiling, we'll say dot toString. Huh? Why didn't it print out all the things I asked it for? What happened to my debug? Right line. I'll just do it as a separate one. All right, so we're going to look here and try to compare this box with its center. Because I feel like there's got to be a problem there. So an 890, 24, 27, 0. So your center, allegedly, is 810, 0, 810, 0. That seems impossible. What if I just say your actual center? So yeah, I'm calculating these wrong somehow. It's fine. Let's just see what center says. So 770, 1923, 0. Your center is allegedly 790. That seems wrong. Your center should be like, you know, the difference between 7 and 19. So it should be 13, something like that. Okay. I use this. We use this and stuff. How is it wrong? We use this and stuff and we get the right value. Very strange. Maximum minus minimum. Divided by 2. Oh, this is your internal center. Oh, I'm so stupid. This is your center within the coordinate system, right? No. Right? Yeah, because I'm pulling minimum out. Yeah, I need to add minimum back after doing it. Yeah, I do that everywhere else. Like anywhere, whenever we're indexing and we need the global position back, I'm doing that everywhere else, but for some reason, seeing the minus minimum didn't trigger that in my mind. Yeah, okay, so what we can do here, we can keep these as local, and what we can do is we can just add it back when we do the calculation here. Also, how's it going, LSDev? Yeah, as soon as any amount of vector math comes out, I just shut down as a person. Just like mentally shut down. This song is a bit loud, huh? Minimum plus amount, center floor plus minimum, maximum amount, center ceiling plus minimum. I think that'll do it. You're doing well? Good. All right, let's see what we get now. Probably some kind of crash. Nope. All right. Okay, we restored sanity to the kingdom here. Nice. Hey, Project Unfarmed, how's it going? Thanks for the stretch and the hydrate here. All right. All right. It's fixed. So now when we build stuff, so instead of the old thing, hey, Arneo, how's it going? All right, let's respect the hydrate and the stretch commands. How's it going, Arneo? Nick, something looked different in the map editor since the last time you seen it? The only thing is really, and I was just about to demonstrate this, so we can make... The only trick I need to do is... We still have to make a ceiling. I would rather not have to do that. So we can box out a whole area like this, and instead of drawing solid shapes, it draws hollow compartments. And if you wanted to do that, and let's say you wanted to do like... Let's say you wanted to do that and you wanted it to be... Oh, I need to have a different tool selected. Hard to tell that I'm erasing. I kind of want some kind of tooltip to help me see what I'm erasing. If you wanted to do it in such a way where you were like, I want to do a cargo bay, you could do this, and then you could do a layer of just walls. You would then have to do a layer of just floors. You couldn't just do that. All right, I still need some improvement of the workflow. I guess what you would want to do is you would want to draw that from the bottom up somehow. Because when you do the floor, it should still make a solid group of floor. So we can do this, though. And then you would go down one more level. And this would give you... Yeah. So kinda. I also think I want to tell the cutaway system to do something else when it detects these kinds of deep cargo areas. Arneo, you're stuck in making a minimap and trying to understand rendering layers and sub-viewports. It's not as fun as making missile guidance systems. Oh no. Sub-viewports are pretty cool though. They're very strong, very powerful. Yeah, I wonder, you know what I should do is maybe there should be like a button where you can say solid versus, no, I don't know. The easier thing to do now if you want to make like a cargo bay is you just draw it out like this. You draw it out normally and then you just start removing the floors that you don't want. That would be the easier way to do it. We do need some kind of system soon that can tell when you draw something illegal like this. Like you make a double wall or something. How is that rendering correctly? Oh, because it's the full block cutaway. I think if we put a ceiling here somewhere, we would get different behavior. Yeah, we're getting some weird stuff. If I do it like that. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, so we gotta fix that to some extent. We have to be able to prevent these 2x2 wall sections from being built. So we need a system that like evaluates the state and tells you that like, hey, this second row of walls are not allowed. I don't want to do that right now though. Let's get rid of that debug entry. Okay, well we fixed the shrink thing. It's doing what I expect it to do now. Kind of weird that center is in local coordinates. I think maybe I actually just want to change that. I think I want center to be in global coordinates. I don't know. I guess we'll wait to see it for it to matter before we do something about that. Yeah, we're not supporting double walls. Hey, Diginanigans, how's it going? We're not supporting double walls, but I don't currently have a way to enforce that. So we're relying on me to be good and not make them. All right, well, that was a nice way to spend the first bit of the stream. What do we want to do now? I kind of want to encapsulate some of this rules. So instead of this horrible thing, it says something like, if bulk X can remove edge outline. Instead of just this pile of conditionals. It's like a higher level abstraction of like, don't have, you know, magic numbers. Don't have like a magic pile of conditionals sitting around at this maybe level of abstraction. Maybe we can do it a little simpler where we can say like can remove edge outlines and we could like pass in, or I don't know. What we could do is we could pass in the atlas coords and then we could say try to remove edge or maybe tile outlines. And we could say what kind of tile it is. We could say like tile dot layers dot deck x, or yeah, and then we get back the atlas coordinates. I think that's reasonable, and it does simplify this part. It buries a lot of the detail down somewhere else. I think I'm fine trying that sort of thing. I don't think I would call it try, because try would imply that it like returns a bool or something. We could say something. Remove, or maybe we could say clear. We could say clear, removable tile outlines, and then we expect a tile.layers layer. I'm gonna say layer because we expect one. Oh, and it's not a void. It would be a vector 4i. Should I say removable or should I say like unnecessary? Unneeded. Maybe we just say clear tile outlines. Might say spare. I don't think spare is the right kind of word, though. Classic programmer problems. Tile outline cleanup. That's not bad. That's not bad. So we need to pass in the layer. We also would need some details. That's one of the reasons why I'm not doing this, is the dependency on other things. We would need to pass in the key. Oh, could we just pass in the key by itself? Because the key actually includes the tile layer. So we'd pass in the key. A lot of this stuff is member variables, so we don't need to pass that in, which is good. Cutaways is... Why is cutaways... Oh, because we've turned that into a buffer. So for these, we need to know about the mask. We need to know about the key. So it needs to know what the layer is. Oh, actually it doesn't. We decided it just needs to know the key. Vector, because the layer is in the key. Call it tile key. I don't know. We need the tile key. We need the buffer. We need the cutaway buffer. We need the mask. We're kind of hiding a lot of details here, but that's okay. So what we can do is we can switch off of tile.layers, key.w. I don't know if I can turn this into a switch expression yet, so I'm not going to try. Why don't I do this? Oh, I do it numerically. Where did the colon go? There it goes. All right, here we go. Autocomplete. Take us home. Oh, not quite. All right, yeah, let's do it. What are you complaining about? No. The real question is, do we put all the logic straight up here? Because I kind of want to. So then here we could just return a thing. Let's start working through this. So what I would do here is I'd go up. Oh, we need the atlas coords for sure. We also need the atlas coords. Atlas coords. Key. Let's just say cutaways. Vector 4i. Key. Also, this is a vector 2i. There's probably additional information we need, like the atlas. Oh, maybe not. Let's determine it for the atlas coords. Coords. Okay. Yeah, I want to simplify this before we add the corner cases, because the corner cases are going to make this look really crazy. So let's go through. I'm not convinced that all of these rules matter, but I'm not going to audit them right now. The only real question is, how I want to do this. Hey, Picaric. Got too much work to do. No worries. Thanks for swinging by here. How's it going? I know you said you got too much work to do, but hopefully it's going all right. I think we can all agree that we've got too much work to do. All right, so you don't know about our haul. That's a problem. This is the main reason I didn't want to do this. It's just the sheer amount of information. So I don't need to say haul. I can say hauls. Try get value. Key. Out. Haul. Haul. Oh. Let's just say this. Haul's key. We don't need to try get, because we couldn't have gotten here if there isn't a haul here. Kind of just want to do it like this. Let's do this series. I don't really want to put all of the logic here. I want to shove it down even further. Karek, you mean you add a dialogue system to your game through JSON file, but it's mainly tutorial. The important thing, you learned some of it. Nice, nice, yeah. Nix, it's been 10 months since you even opened your Project Zomboid mod, according to Unity. Oh, I hate that. I hate when you look at the hub and it's like, it just shames you. I do not like that. All right, I think we just start by just putting all the logic in here. In which case I should have just grabbed all of this and not just the first part. Maybe I just call this coords. Well, Atlas coords is good. We could also just say Atlas. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. Like, why do I call this key? It's like the block coords. I think I'm gonna call this block coords. Well, it's not the block coords, is it? Because the W is the tile. Maybe we call it tile coords. I don't know. I hate naming things. I hate naming things. All right, where all do we use the hull? Okay, so we probably want to declare a variable for that. Say hull equals hull's key. We can say cutaway equals cutaways. Actually, should I just pass in our cutaway? I probably should. Do we need to use... Oh, no, we look up the cutaways, huh? Never mind. P.xyz. Maybe I don't need this one. Well, we're going to successfully bury all of the important auto-tiling behavior way down here, which is nice. So back up here, instead, we're going to say something like, so instead of all this, what we just say is Atlas coords equals tile outline cleanup. This isn't really just cleaning up the outline, huh? This is like picking the variations we're going to use. So maybe it should be just like auto automatically. Yeah, whatever. Let's not worry about what it's called right now. So tile outline cleanup, we need to pass in the current set of Atlas coords. I think are just called coords. Skywalk asks, Procrastinator Sensei, how do you reach peak procrastination? Nix's suggestion is to get way too overwhelmed with programming, and at your programming job, breaking your arm will also help on top. Yeah, but that sounds like kind of the thing. The key thing is the breaking the arm. Cutaways, key, mask, coords. We're going to call these Atlas coords. Getting rid of the term key because it doesn't make any sense. Block tile doesn't make a lot more sense, but at least it's better than key. Hey, Rhiannon Journey, how's it going? It's been a while. Things have been hectic. You haven't had any afternoons free until today. What are we working on? I'm just doing some cleanup of... I want to clean up the way we do the edgewise auto tiling before we dip into the corner stuff. We made some changes to the block editor tool. So now when we drag out shapes, we're dragging out rooms instead of just blocks of solid blocks. A little more needs work to be done. I want to automatically include the ceiling when you do that, which I'm not currently doing. Or I want to include the ceiling if possible. How have you been though? It said you've been hectic. Sounds like everyone's real busy. I call this key because it comes from the hull key. So maybe calling it hull key is probably better. Hulls. Oh, Lord. So when we go through this, we say describe tile map data. So that happens down here. We describe tile map data. We go through each key in hulls.keys. I guess I could call this hull key. And then in this context, it at least makes sense why we call it a hull key. But I think we need to change the context when we go down. I know I could have done a better replace. I know I could have done a right-click replace. I honestly feel spoiled having all these IDE tools. I'm still kind of just used to just having to do everything yourself in, like, GD script. You're doing okay, Rhiannon? You're tired? You're looking into moving to somewhere safer and all that entails? Oh, that sounds like a lot of work, but that would probably be a lot better. I know how it's like, you know, similarly to how people say when you have health problems, you only have one problem. Nix probably knows about that. It's like, it's a way of like, when you have a health problem, nothing else really matters. That's why they say that. I feel like the same thing happens with like homes and apartments and stuff like that. Like if you have a shelter problem, you really don't have any other problems. Like it kind of affects everything else. It's probably because it's one of the, you know, those foundational levels on the food pyramid. Arneo, things you learned recently. Visibility layers are different from canvas layers, are different from light mask layers. So many layers. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy how many layers there are. Everything's a layer. You get to the point where words stop meaning things, which can be a little annoying. All right, so now here we call these hull keys. There's a little more clear what we're talking about here. But when we dip down a level lower, I want to call them something else. Atlas, buffer comp X, cutaways, hull key, mask, edge tiles. I feel like edge tiles should be a characteristic of the Atlas, maybe, rather than having it be a separate bool that we have to pass in. Because it's like the hover. I think I should call that grid instead of hover or something like that. Well, I guess I understand. I can see the distinction that one would want to make. We can take cutaway out. Hull is hull keys. Block tile. Do we actually need that? Do we actually use that anywhere? Oh, we use it right here. Nyx. Yeah, you get rid of health and stuff breaks down like dominoes, like getting rid of coffee and everything falls the same. Yeah, exactly. Health, coffee, and shelter. The three like foundational parts of the food pyramid. Arneo, you hate moving house. You wish you were detached enough from stuff that all your belongings just fitted into a compact car. I think it's a good thing to do every once in a while, is to do a big clean. I actually only recently did that this year. I sold like hundreds of dollars worth of books. I had a closet full of books that I didn't need, and I was like, I can't have these around. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to be better about that because, yeah, I haven't moved in a bajillion years. I used to have tricks to like help me, like manage the amount of stuff I did when I was moving more often, but yeah, it's been a while. All right, so I like that we've cleaned this up. I want to change this. So we like get deck X tile. We could say like get deck. We could say like get tile Atlas coords. Instead of tile outline cleanup, we could say like get tile Atlas coords. Hold on. If this says starts at 0, maybe we say something else. Maybe we say vector 4i. Maybe we define it down here. We don't have to pass in the coordinates because they haven't been set yet. I guess I could plug in the cutaways as like a member variable, but I think it's better if you're working with spans to pass them around. So we could say hull key. Well, I would need to update that. Well, now we're calling it block tile and hull key. Yeah, I feel like this term... I'm actually okay with it. I've changed my mind. Although it's not always the hull, is it? And I think that's part of the problem, is we're actually limited to only drawing tiles based on what actually has hull pieces. So like everything that's an overlay needs an under tile. Like the overlay by itself is meaningless. I think that's causing us some awkwardness. Like when we're trying to erase blocks, you can't really see the result of what you were doing. I think I want to fix that a little bit, but I'm going to continue to use a confusing term, aka hull key. I feel like I have to do these kinds of refactors often, or I just get so confused about what we're doing. All right, we're going to put this up here. We're just going to call it get tile atlas coords. Get tile atlas coords is actually a vector 2i. So that might actually be a problem. Oh no, atlas coords is a vector 4i here. So these aren't really atlas coords. Or they are, but they're like in a different state. There are vector 4 ones. And those need to be further interpreted. But what do they need to be interpreted based on? They need to be based on the buffer that we get, which is the tileset atlas index buffer. Right. So I could maybe pass that in. Or we can always just do that part here. Atlas index. Let's see. Let's see what we can get away with here. Okay, what other values do you need? You need the key, you need the cutaways, you need the mask. Oh, you think that you need the atlas coordinates, but you don't. I'm gonna call you hull key. I'm gonna do this correctly this time. I'm gonna replace, rename, hull key. There we go. So what we need to do is we need to set a vector 4i, atlas coords, it's default. What we need to do here is we then return atlas coords. All right, I think this will work for now. We can just move all the rest of the logic down here. I liked having the individual behavior in the individual tile. I kind of liked that. Now we're kind of shoving it all down a layer. I don't like that. I mean, I do kind of, but I also don't because we still have layer-specific behavior here. I don't know. I want it to be easier to see what's going on. So I think here just saying atlas coords, get tile atlas coords. Just do it. I don't need to know about the specifics of this if I'm not working on it. don't think I need to declare the hull here. Should probably call this like Atlas buffer, something like that. That's okay. I can kind of see everything that's happening. We kind of hand wave this part away, but I think it's okay. Yeah, I think calling this Atlas chords is a little misleading. You could call it tile chords or something. Or auto tile. Maybe like tile offsets. I don't know. Atlas chords is wrong, but I'm going to keep it for now. If we could get the buffer, if we could get this tile set Atlas index buffer to be a single buffer instead of an XYZ buffer, that could be good. Is there a world where you might have an Atlas that only covers... I guess there is. What a sleepy little song we're getting. Don't try this at home, kids. You know what they say. Play an accordion, go to jail. So we have a length, we have a oh, excuse me. We have a length, a width, a height. This is a component type. Yeah, I would rather not have 3 different component types here. So we have a buffer ID. So you have your length, your width, and your height. There is maybe not a way to get around this. You have your length, your width, and height, and then you have this buffer thing. Yeah, maybe there isn't a way to do this. I mean, there probably is, but the thing is, X and Y will probably always be the same length, but Z is a different length. And all of these have different values. Well, not entirely, but different enough. Yeah, I guess I'm not going to try to tackle that right now. We don't need to right now. Let's just keep going. It seems like I'm kind of just messing around. I kind of am. Still kind of getting back in the swing of things post-vacation here. All right. I feel okay about having all the auto tiling rules in one place like this. But I think I want to I don't know. I don't know. Do you know? Because I don't know. Hey, smooth in a second. Redeem the hydrate. Thank you. Oh, what I should do before I do this paste thing. Should go back up here. All right, we'll respect the hydrate. How's everyone doing today? All right, I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna say halls, key, halls, key. What we're gonna do here is we're going to refactor, rename this to hall key. Try to retain just enough context so we understand what the heck is happening here. These can be called halls key. Actually, I guess they all maybe use this, so maybe that's okay. What's up with all the hydrates this stream? I mean, H2O is important. You're surprised? No, it's good. It's good. I'm drinking coffee and tea like all day. Water is something I could stand to drink a little more. There's some other changes I want to make here. Get rid of that. All these atlas chords, I guess, until I think of a better name. Cutaway. I don't think we need to declare a cutaway. Cutaways. Hall key. What if this doesn't exist? Out haul bulk. Oh, does someone else have this definition? Yep. Man, okay. What do we use this for? Oh, we do it here. All right, now we replace this whole block with just a variable atlas coords, or it's actually vector 4i atlas coords. There you go. Maybe this isn't the most exciting thing to do on episode 250. But we said our fun celebration is going to be episode 256. So we do. That's what we do. That's what we care about, our powers of two. I call this auto-tiled chords. I don't know about getting this buffer every single time. It's paying a span cast for every single tile, which I don't think is expensive, but I also don't think it's like the cheapest thing in the world. Skywalk comments. Do you really see code comments? This is not my code. This is system code. This is .NET code. This is the memory marshal. I think this is fine. Well, we're now at the level of code I can't read. Thought it was some kind of miracle? No. I would never. Anyone watching their return to the tower here? The Primogen and gang. They're doing like the second half of their game jam right now where they're trying to like finish their ridiculous vibe coded monstrosity of a game. I don't know if I agree with what they're doing, but damn, I'll be damned if it's not good entertainment, you know? I've been watching the recaps each day, so I'm kind of behind. I'm not on the live stream, but I'm kind of amused. You know I'm mainly watching for Adam C. Eunice. All the incredible art being done there. All right. I don't love how there's conflicting variable names here in the different switch statements, which I guess was the nice thing about not doing it this way. Maybe I want another set of, maybe I want to go lower. I don't know. It's starting to get out of control. You've seen bits and pieces of it. You haven't followed along too closely. Yeah, it's funny more than anything else. How you doing, Diginanigans? Shenanigans, you're not doing too bad. You're just bouncing between a few different work projects. Cool, cool. Shenanigans, you're getting into the final quarter of the year, so you got a lot of corporate clients that want to spend up their remaining department budget, so they come to us to dump it on advertising. Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah, there is an interesting, very annual behavior for ads, I think it was. Yeah, the ad budget's got to be spent, or it's going to be reduced next year. I don't know if I love all this stuff that I'm doing here. I feel like I'm just pushing stuff out of my vision in a way that's actually going to make things worse in the long run. I think I'm changing my mind on this. Oh, well, what I should do... I should just restore this file is what I should do. I wasn't really feeling all those changes we were making. I think I'm just going to live with these awkward blocks. Maybe what we'll do is we'll be nice. We'll be nice to Skywalk for once and we'll write a comment. We'll say, I think this is left edge. This is like evaluate left edge. Well, let me make sure I've actually got these in the correct order. You're just kidding. Too late. It's too late to apologize. Is it always right? So x plus 1 is positive. It's always the right, but it's different. Oh wait, this is the wrong world here. Auto tile mapping. You're deeply sorry for your comment about comments? Well, no, these aren't always right. Okay, so it's negative x. So we'll say evaluate negative x edge. positive X edge. Maybe instead of auto tile, we say something like, or evaluate, we say like auto tile. That's not a word. Evaluate's fine. And then y plus 1 is the negative y. All right, I do want to introduce, I think we're just going to accept this. You're in an ad. All right, well. Let's move the buffer down. I do like that change. These are just stupid changes. But we might not need the buffer, so let's not declare it if we don't need it. We also don't need to declare this here. Oh, maybe we do. Okay, that's fine. How many uses of cutaway do we get? A few, okay. All right, this will remain hard to read, but otherwise I'm okay. Usually when I don't want to actually make progress, I just do stuff like this. I like try out a refactor. Maybe I hate it. Maybe I hate it, maybe I don't. This feels very Stardew Valley. This feels like that one underwater song. The shenanigans. YouTube chat has a subtle but annoying bug. It seems like they auto-snap scrolling to the bottom when you scroll halfway through the latest comment. That on its own is whatever. I assume there's a second half of this. But if you have exactly enough comments in chat that there is a half a comment too many to fit on the chat window, it makes it impossible to scroll to the first comment. Oh, that's so weird. Very weird. This is my jam. Making a few more little changes. So yeah, these aren't Atlas chords. These are just chords. Oh no, these are Atlas chords. Okay, I forgot doors are like a different beast. Doors are a very different beast. We don't even know about the tile atlas. Oh, because, yeah, that makes sense, actually. We'll just get rid of it, then. We don't use the mask, either. I'll forget about it. Doors are still weird. I still don't like the door setup, but it's good enough for now. Having it defer to the other tile types for most cases is good. That helps a lot. Hard to believe Ludum Dare is next weekend. Wish I could do that. Wish I hadn't made... Well, no, I don't wish I hadn't made other choices. I wish it was occurring on a different weekend. I really would like to do another jam. I never announced it in the Discord, I don't think, but Bare Necessities got second in the art category, which felt pretty good. What didn't feel good was, you know, how it kind of tanked in every other category, but it's okay. We tried to do one thing well, and arguably we did. Issue is we didn't do everything else adequately, but, you know. We're improving. That's really all you can do. Thanks. Thanks to Shenanigans. All right, let me make sure I have the Z. Oh, wait, we're not there yet. Z is 1 is negative X, but 2 is positive X. 1 is negative Y, 2 is positive Y. Okay, so it's consistent at least. It's good to be consistent. Evaluate negative X edge. Evaluate positive X edge. I'm a little concerned that the corner cases are going to be like more complicated than the edge cases. I'm hoping it's not. I'm wondering if there's a way to do it where I can be informed. Like we do the edgewise comparison first, and that obviously is what tells us whether we even need to consider the corner. Like we would need a matching pair of edges. Whatever matching pairs of edges. So we could say if coords.x is greater than or equal to some number, we could say, okay, it's this edge or this corner. And we can combine that. Yeah, it should be actually the corner cases should be much easier to calculate than the edge cases. Maybe we can start working on that now. I was planning on more of a refactor, which is kind of what we were doing. Kind of just hide more of it, but I kind of just want to dump it in here. The system is getting big, but I also think the system is very close to reaching like it's everything that I'm going to be asking of it. This is really just for auto tiling. It'd be really great if we could have this done by the end of Saturday. Work on something else next week. I don't think we've moved anything off of our Kanban board in like over a month. Just how it goes sometimes, but it's all right. X plus Y. Watched that new Fantastic Four last night. It was okay. I kind of got to the end and I was like, that's it? Which is weird. Because it had reasonable story structure. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like the final fight kind of felt more like the middle of the movie kind of fight. Maybe I've just been spoiled by all the big team up Marvel movies where I just expect like slugfest after slugfest. But I don't know. All right, let's start. Well, quick sanity check. Let's run it. Make sure I didn't break everything. It's a lot easier to do my demos now that I can just make. What happens if I try to make a wall? Oh, consequences. The consequences of my actions. Can't actually draw walls anymore. Well, gotta fix that. So we need like a mode. We need some kind of mode detection. We need to be able to tell. That's easy. We can just check size. Oh, this is going to be annoying. So what's the easiest way to do this? I mean, obviously you just should check. You should be able to check the X or Y dimensions. Oh, excuse me. I need a T. We should be able to check to see if we're making a rect or if we're making a line. It's a rectangle or a line. Thanks for the hydrate, Nix. So what's the easiest way to do that? That's not tea. No, I'll go make some tea. I'll go make some tea after the stream. I have been bringing tea with me onto the stream a few times. That's nice. I think when I'm doing long streams, like when I'm doing a game jam or something, I think that's crucial. But I'm okay for one of our regular episodes. But yeah, if anyone hears about game jams that have like, especially game jams that have solo categories, like solo entrant categories, where it's not me competing against teams of like 5 or 6 people, that's like super demoralizing to me. It's one of the reasons I don't do bigger jams. Or I mean longer jams, because like a team over a longer span of time will be able to get even more done. It's like, I just don't want to compete with that. I would much rather have a solo category. And I know you could be saying, hey, Dave, why don't you like make some friends? Yeah. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that point where I feel like comfortable making games with other people. And it's not just about comfort. I think it's also about like how I like to work. Like, I don't think I would ever join a team without really understanding how I would work with everyone on the team. Or I would just wouldn't do it because I want to have my own control over everything. All right, so the way we do this is we do this in 2 steps. When we're making our little room things, We erase blocks within bounds, and then we merge blocks along margins. Essentially what we need to do I think we should do it within the switch. I think we should look at bounds, and we should say something like, if bounds, not size. Oh man, this is where I would like to have an any. I wonder if I could have a vector function. Arneo, you'd join my team for a jam. You're sure I could scrounge up some underlings to boss around from your Discord? Yeah. I mean, managing a team is its own job. I know Adagon will do that for jams. I also know some other people who do that. They're very regularly jamming, and they're really good at like the team management stuff. I'm not. I'm not much of a manager. I should figure out when the next solo dev jam is. Right now they're doing solo development Halloween jam number 9. I feel like that just started. Oh, it starts in 1 month. It's October 31st to November 2nd. Oh, a Halloween jam could be kind of fun. It's a 72-hour one. Starts at noon on the 31st. What's the 31st? Oh, that's a Friday. And it ends on noon on November 3rd, which is a Monday. Oh, I could do this one. Sorry, I don't have it up here. I could potentially do this. This could be fun. Solo developers only. Pre-made. That could be fun. Maybe I need to do some more pre-made asset jams. Mini Delivery was a pre-made asset jam, and that was really fun because we got to focus entirely on the gameplay. Let's mark our calendars. Let's think about that. I'm not going to quite join yet. I need to check a few more things, but I'm very tempted. Because, yeah, I think that was an issue with some of my other jams, or the jams that I do that are like compo style, where it's like everything from scratch. You spend so much time on just content creation, it becomes really hard to also have enough time to spend on the mechanics and the balance and stuff like that. So I think it would be a nice opportunity to practice on like my holistic game design skill. Like spend more time on like making something fun and less time on just making something. Because usually if you don't have a lot of time or you're struggling with the implementation, the main feat, the achievement is really just, I made something in this amount of time. It's not, you didn't even have the opportunity to ask the question, you know, did I make something good though? So that could be quite fun. That could be quite fun. I'd probably end up doing something 3D. If I'm going to do, I think that would be the fun thing to do, because like 3D assets I can't normally make. But it could be fun to do pre-mades. All right, so I think what we need to do here is I need to do some kind of test. Oh yeah, I was gonna make something like an any, vector3i.any. How am I gonna do that though? I mean, I guess it would be a bool 3. Vector3.any is gonna be a bool. The thing is, it needs to be. I could say any less than or any greater than. I could pass in the. I could pass in the comparison I wanted to make. I could also just write it myself. The thing to me is the less than and the greater than don't work super great. Because this just compares from the highest dimension to the lowest dimension, and it's just done. Which I guess is fine, actually, for our purpose. Yeah, let's not worry about the any. Let's just hard code it. So we'll just do our own any. We'll say if bounds.size.x. Oh, there already is an any. Wait, I already wrote an any? No way. Oh, I see. It's an any comparison for equality. I guess that's good. So that's cool. I don't know why I don't have an all. I guess that's just the equivalent of equal. There's no reason to have an equal. But any is cool. But we don't want to use any in this case. What we want to do is we want to say size.x is greater than 1. Or bounds.size.y is greater than 1. Oh. All right, so what we're doing here is we're evaluating the size of this thing. If it's in range to be a rect, we'll do that. Otherwise, what we're gonna do is otherwise we'll just say replace blocks within bounds. We say block.bulk. Bounds preview blocks. We do the same thing here. What happened if I would just say greater than and I compared it with a single number? I think I could just do that. This is me not knowing how I wrote these. Where's my compare to for just a value? Do I have that? I do not. Should I have that? Should I have like less than a specific number? I could do like public static bool operator less than it would be vector 3i left float right what's this complaining about? Yeah, whatever, sure. This would be like return. We could say if left.x is less than right, or left.y, or left.c. Actually, what we could say is left.z. Yeah, is this fine? It's probably fine. Turn true. False. How do you want to do this? There you go. Now we just need a greater than equivalent. I think this is a little silly, but I think it's okay. I think this is a weird way to do this. Here, instead of this horrible thing, I can say if bounds.size is greater than 1. I feel like it's kind of ambiguous as far as what might happen here. Like, I feel like you could see this and imagine that maybe you're like, okay, well, maybe this vector becomes like a volume. And we're seeing if the volume is greater than 1. Whatever. I think that's kind of bad what I'm doing here, but we'll keep doing it for a minute. One of the benefits of being the only person using your code, you can kind of get away with some confusing behavior. Although this will be like Let's say size dot xy. That's a vector too, huh? Should I write this instead as like any less than, any greater than? I should probably do that. I think writing that as an operator was weird. I think I might call this any equals. I don't know if anyone actually uses this. You can say any less than. Actually, I guess we say greater than first. X is greater than other dot x. Y is greater than other dot. Why does, I don't know why the autotiler just, or not the autotiler, the autocomplete just loses the thread there sometimes. Other pair, the other vector. This is a little more verbose, but it's very explicit about what it's evaluating, which I think is better. All right, now I gotta copy this to the other vector classes. Specifically this one. Where's your any function? Oh, do you not have one? Weird. All right, now we just got to do that for the vector 4, which I thought I had an implicit converter here. I guess it would be on the vector 4, huh? I should have an explicit conversion from a vector 4. Oh, no, I guess I don't, and I understand why. Let's go grab that vector 4. Where you is? There you is. I have a 2i converter and a 4i converter. I don't know why I haven't written the 3i converter yet. Because I haven't needed it. Alright, do you have an any function? No, you don't, huh? All right, so now what we can do here is we can say size.xy.any greater than. Oh, I messed this up. Float the other value. We could also take, we could have overloads of this for vectors, for other vectors. It's not really what it was intended to be used for. X is equal to other, or Y is equal to other. Possible loss of precision while rounding. Oh yeah, not a float, an int. I could have done this a little differently, but this is good enough. What happened to the thing? There it is. Hey, Luveline. How's it going? How are you doing? Welcome in. I feel like I will want a version of this where we're comparing with other vectors, but it's not what we're doing now, so... Doing what you can. That's all you can do. How am I? I'm doing all right. We've changed how our little tool works here. Now we're just trying to fix it a little bit. All right, that should check if we're placing a rect versus a single line. If it's placing a line, it should let us draw a wall. If it's placing a rect, it should follow the rules for that. So we go down here, we place our walls here. So that works. And then if I try to place a line in here, it does not. Oh, greater than... Huh? Pourquoi? Okay, that didn't quite work the way I thought it would. You seen some of my YouTube videos? On the level manager thing to make the rooms? Oh, cool. Yeah, we're kind of just... We kind of dug ourselves a bit of a hole. Where I want more and more features for this thing. But I also want to not be working on it anymore. So greater than... I kind of... So hold on a second. Bounds.size.xy any greater than 1. Okay. So that should turn. That should report false. Oh, any greater than 1. I need, well, I'm not comparing the right thing. I want to know if XY is all greater than 1. Well, time to add another function. Maybe I'll just add it to this. I don't need all equals, because that's just equals, but I do need all greater than or all less than. Luvalane, you went from making a level builder. Oh, I went from making a level builder for the game to making a level builder in general type of thing. No, not really. It's still for this game. We're gonna probably end up using it in a little side project though. We have an idea for a little idle game that's kind of like a side project off this that will use all of the same tech and kind of be in the same world and stuff. So we are looking to leverage the tech that we've made, but I still wouldn't really call it a general purpose thing, because for one thing, it's all written in C# and it all depends on this ECS, and it's all very specific to our use case here, but it's one of these things where I don't want to stop working on it until it's effectively done, what I consider it done. I don't want to come back. I don't want to be coming back to it all the time. We'll have to come back to it sometimes, but I don't want to come back to it all the time. I want it to be good enough to let lie for a while, but that does mean putting a lot of effort into it. So autocomplete is doing a weird thing with spaces. It's like introducing a space each time. Very strange. Oh, and here it's just refusing. There we go. Oh, but that's the wrong one. Yeah, autocomplete for the lose here. All right, so this is all. That's what I want to check, is I want to check if all of them are greater than 1. All greater than 1. Not any. Nothing wrong with that, though. They say the problem with game engines is it's too generalized for every game and not built for a specific one. That is often the problem with a general purpose commercial game engine. I do have some stuff from my last game jam, which was isometric, that I've decided to, I kind of put it into a plugin, because I've had this realization that I pretty much only want to work on some kind of isometric game. I really have no interest in side-scroller or top-down games. And like some of this tech could, not this tech, but like, I think I've realized that about myself, about kind of the stuff I'm interested in. And so I am starting to work on some template stuff for that to make game jams a little easier, but that's very different than this tech. All right, there we go. So we can draw a line. If you try to draw not a line, so this case is weird. This case I need to figure out what to do. Yeah, I shouldn't have done replace. I should have just done merge. Oh, that behaved very wrong. I don't like it. That's kind of awkward. I don't necessarily want people to choose. Like, I could just have an icon that's like, here's the line tool versus here's like the rect tool, kind of like in, like A-Sprite has that somewhere. Well, it has a line tool, and then it has like a rectangular marquee. I feel like it also has a oh, it's right here. So I could have like hollow rectangle or solid rectangle line tool. I mean, I could add different stuff here. Theoretically, we could even add ellipses. I don't know if I want to do that. But it's kind of awkward right now because you could accidentally move from a line to a 2 wide, and a 2 wide behaves super weird. Luvalane, you love isometric. It's always a vibe. Yeah, I like it too. It's a lot of work. But I really like it. So it shouldn't be this line shouldn't be replaced. This should be merge. It should be merge. Well, maybe this should actually be replaced. Yeah, no, it could be merge. It should be both. Shenanigans for the thin 2x(n) quote-unquote room. You would omit drawing the wall for that part that is conflicting where your mouse is currently dragging, but prioritize and keep the wall from the side you started from. Side you started from. Ah, I see what you mean. So you'd want to continue drawing the wall, this wall, and then if I did this, there wouldn't be a change to that. That's not a bad idea. It's a little annoying to like figure that out, but that's a good idea. And then so it would just draw a single wall, and then once you hit the third, it would turn into a rectangle. Yeah, I like that. Oh, that's going to be a problem, huh? Why doesn't that... Okay, the cutaway behaves weirdly in this case. Interesting. I do anything for Shovel Jam? No, I haven't heard of a Shovel Jam. Shovel Jam 2025. Well, that's cool. That looked like a long one. Is there going to be another one? The only one I see here is from... It was back in July. But it was a week. Week is pretty good. Is there another Shovel Jam? First ever inbound shovel game jam. That's the same one I was looking at, right? Yeah. Okay. No, I haven't heard of this one. That looked cool. To be fair, I also haven't heard of inbound shovel. An indie game dev. Ooh, okay. I gotta check this person out. I feel like maybe the kinds of games we're into are very different, but this looked cool. Super cool. I gotta check that out. I think the next big game jam is Jax starting next month. Yeah, I think the Jern Jam is going on right now. Ludum Dare is next month, I think, unless it got canceled again. Oh, there's no schedule for October, huh? Oh, that's weird. It's got to be there. LD Jam. That's not a good... What happened to the LD Jam site? Okay, yeah, I don't know if Ludum Dare 58 is actually happening. Oh, no. Ludum Dare 58, October 3rd to October 6th. Yeah, that's super inconvenient for me. But that's the next big one, I think. Oh, Jacksepticeye is first? That's crazy. Time to pop out, Arneo? No worries. Viewports be viewporting, they do. Okay, oh yeah, Jacksepticeye. I've never... Let me look at their... I am honestly looking for jams. I have kind of a list of things that I look for in a jam, but it's nice to know. So the Jacksepticeye jam, okay, yeah, that looks pretty big. That is October 1st. Oh, you aren't kidding. October 1st to 5th. Cool. I would love a solo category. Especially for big jams. I think I would like a solo category. Okay, so how are we going to do the thing that Diginanigans told us to do? Okay. We could say else if any. I feel like I'm going to make like a bool 3. Bool 3 not a thing? It's not. All right. So what we could do is we could figure out which axis is bigger. We could then say... We could say bounds equals... Say bounds dot size dot x greater than 1. If it is, then we'd say bounds shrink vector 3i dot x otherwise we could say bounds dot shrink vector 3i dot y. Well, no, that won't work. That won't work. We can't shrink it. Diginanigans, before emitting the block, check if it is on the same X or Y axis as your cursor. If it is, don't remove it. We'd have to do that down. We'd have to do that a little farther down than I would like to. But I like your thinking. I like your thinking. What we could do... We could make a new boundary. Oh. I have run out of time. Let's see if we can do this, though. We can start from the anchor position. So we can start from the anchor chords and just make a new bounding box. We could say like new AABB. The minimum, so we would start from the anchor chords. We'd say anchor chords with... Here we would say something like... We would check... We just need to check to see which coordinate doesn't match. Right? We just say chords. I mean, I should probably just declare this variable. Let's call it wall bounds or something like that. Lubalane, the only jam you tried, you failed. You tried coding a text-based colony management game, but you're not a coder. Oof, you just ran out of time. That has happened to me. I mean, not that exact thing, but yeah, I've definitely run out of time. Wall bounds, anchor chords. Oh, no. Hold on. Anchor chords. I wrote this wrong. Anchor chords equals new. We say anchor chords x. I see what we need to do here. We anchor it to the point, and then we figure out which of the vectors is like which axis is long with the long axis, and then we just set that point. I do need to go. So I think I'm going to put this on hold, and we're going to pick this up there tomorrow. But we're not done yet, so we might as well, pick it up. That's not the last word on this either, so. All right, yeah, I gotta get going. This has been awesome, though. It's been nice seeing some new faces here. Thanks, Lubalane. I hope you do as well. Luvelin? If I pronounce your name wrong, tell me. Tell me now before it gets in my head. Ciao. Thanks to Shenanigans. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. It's only Thursday, I think. He says confidently, knowing what day it is. Yeah, we'll be back Friday and Saturday. Thanks a million a second for the mail time. Yeah. I want to thank everyone for watching. If I don't, well, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And Love Lane, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for explaining how to pronounce your name. Love Lane. I'll remember that. Hey, Rikia, thank you for hanging out the whole time. Or bouncing out and back in. Whatever. We don't judge. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.